important purchase going on right now. He said we need to own these platforms. Elon Musk owns X on that platform. We see the algorithm has changed. There's very little fact-checking, and hate and outrage are rewarded. Planetary Technologies, you know about it, similar. It provides powerful data and tools to state and corporation tools for surveillance, profiling, and narrative influence. This is important. This is important because the social media space, the information space, has also become a tool of foreign policy. I wonder what your thoughts are on that, and then I'll come to you, Dr. Kando. In the context of Palestine, I should have had that.
Yeah, it's about Palestine, but Palestine is what has allowed us, or what is allowing us to connect the dots. And awareness, knowledge is power. If people understand what's happening, it's the end of the Truman Show. And this is why we see today what has been ongoing, at least successfully for 30 years. Because until the 90s, Palestine and South Africa in particular would appear in, not just in the UN literature, but also in the public discourse, including in the global minority, as two cases connected of unfinished colonialism. And then, as of the 90s, at least for what concerns Palestine, the discourse has changed. And this is where the war of narratives has become one of the extreme. And Israel has understood that in order to maintain hegemony, had to control the narrative, cultural hegemony. And this is why so much effort is put today on controlling the algorithms, because the control of the media, the traditional media, or the control exerted over universities doesn't suffice anymore. So we are still there, where the production of knowledge is a carrier and is a tool of epistemic violence, because the Palestinians, I keep on saying, having been one of the observers of what has happened to them, the Palestinians have been brutalized not just through the violence of the oppression on the ground, but also because they have been killed, they have been smeared, they have been blamed, and they have been smeared, accused through the false portrayal of them as being the cause of the problem. And this has happened because of the control of the narrative. And today, of course, we need to keep on maintaining that narrative. We need to keep on using that epistemic violence. And because there is a critical moment of where social media have been a vehicle of conscientization, now even that is to be acquired and seized.
Dr. Kando, you can speak to any of these things, but I do want to ask you about Arab nations themselves in this crisis. Yes, we hear the word normalizing of relations between the Saudis and Israel. Donald Trump, who was in Riyadh, he was warmly received. Qatar has offered him a jet. We know that Israel attacked the leadership of Hamas on Qatari soil, but America was asked to be a mediator of some sort and asked Netanyahu to apologize. So there are these relationships that are emerging between the United States and some of these nations. What does that mean? Is that Arab nations using their economic leverage and their new proximity, if I may call it that, to help solve this crisis?
No, they're not. I mean, they could have done so much to help the Palestinian people to achieve freedom. And instead of striving for freedom and justice, they just made friends with the most criminal elements in the world. And it's sad. I think that we need, as I said earlier, to be more organized. I think we need to, you asked earlier, what needs to be done? I think the Palestinian people need to form a very strong political force, like the liberation movements we had here in South Africa. They need to ensure that they link in with the international solidarity movement, which is us as part of it, and the rest of the world as part of a global international solidarity movement. we must use our strength here and all over with that movement to push for the freedom of Palestinians. Without that, their neighbors are not going to help them. It's us in the global solidarity movement who will make it happen. For me, it's really tragic. Having been a refugee in Lesotho and Botswana, I'm astounded that those countries, small as they were then, gave us refuge and support, not entirely, but very strong and clear support for the liberation movement. And Palestine, with very wealthy, powerful economies as their neighbors, they are not getting what we got. It's tragic.